Hey guys, so this is going to be a different type of video. There's not going to be a script, but I'm going to talk about a variety of things. Timestamps will be in the description below, and it's concerning like the story mode, people complaining about others getting the game early, me retiring, well, at least taking a break, and more. So let's be real here for a moment. All of the story mode footage being shown on YouTube, that freaking sucks. And the reason is because I find that a lot of the things about the Dragon Ball games is being able to experience the story mode for yourself. It's like when you had Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1, even Dragon Ball Fighters, when you had Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2, even Raging Blast 1. A lot of the great things about the story was being able to just see it and experience all of it yourself, not having to see spoilers or not having to potentially see like story mode spoilers on your thumbnails. But in 2024, that is different because the truth is you have Twitter fiends, you have news channels, which, oh my god, this is the most annoying part, where news channels like they post every single detail about the story and that gets spread and then everyone sees it, and even if you try to avoid it, you're probably gonna see it anyway. If it was just for like the Raditz fight, then alright, whatever. But now it got to the point where apparently, according to Bandai Namco, creators were allowed to record at least 30 minutes of story footage from different characters, including the perspective of Goku Black, Frieza? That's actually pretty crazy. And so when you have that type of level, then at that point, I have to step in and I have to say, I'm not doing this. I kind of refuse to cover this. I refuse to talk about this. Because think about it for a moment. For several months, we've had like constant demo gameplay footage, and now you're having people show off the story mode before the actual release date, which is around 2-ish weeks, give or take. I really don't appreciate the decision that Bandai Namco made with that. Although if it's just for 30 minutes, then it's not the worst thing in the world, but you know what? I want to be surprised. I don't want a lot of these things being shown on Twitter and all of that stuff. I actually did make a poll on this in which I asked, what are your thoughts on content creators posting Dragon Ball Story Mode vids 2 weeks before release? In which the actual poll results were, I love it and neutral/don't care, and I hate it being the lowest one. But there are some people who actually put out some good, decent points. Like, this person says, I generally hate that we know every character and their moves before the game is out. And you can't actually, let me try to look for like a story mode instead of the gameplay stuff. All right, so this person says, I don't care about them posting matches, VS mode, tournament stuff, but I've heard some people are posting what if story beats, and that's made me disengage from most things people are posting. But that's more up to me not to engage. They're content creators, they're going to, all right, let's see what else. They let content creators try the game early, but we can't even get a demo. You can try a demo, but you have to go out of your way to go to a convention or public event to try it. Some people like myself, and believe me, many others. A lot of us don't have that luxury. Some people have certain situations that can't afford to go all the way to the West Coast to try a demo. I'm sure that they could have done a digital public demo, but they won't with 2 weeks left. That's the unfortunate truth. This person says, I am mixed. The excited part of me is just, but the other side of me wants to experience the game itself. I think they should just show the battles and not show the cutscenes. If they want to post how to do alternate routes early without showing any of the cutscenes, I'm fine with that. Plus, something else I forgot to add is knowing everyone's move that is really killing it for me. Why do we have to know how every character plays? We don't. I mean, granted, I think I'm going to be excited either way, but there's definitely going to be a layer of excitement gone. And pretty much piggying back off that, let's kind of talk about the demo situation. So, as you all know, whether it's on Twitter or YouTube videos, I've kind of pretty much been expressing my frustration with that whole situation. No surprise there. However, I would also pretty much like to apologize for how I've pretty much been acting. I feel like this past year, or maybe even more than that, I've just gotten very angry. in terms of how I interact with people or how I respond to these situations. For example, like to be honest, it's like the whole demo situation. I would say that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is probably one of the most frustrating games that I've had to cover as a creator. And that really shouldn't be the case, because here's the thing. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is essentially Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Let's be real here. It's supposed to be one of the best, most exciting games of all time in theory. We were all so excited at the release, but as I kept covering this more and more, I just kept getting so frustrated with how the meta is in terms of, having to upload news videos ASAP, having to cover something ASAP, having to do reaction videos and talk about demo gameplay footage that wasn't mine. I think eventually, once I saw that people were able to record in-game demo gameplay footage, at first it was like, okay, I kind of already knew this would happen because this happened with the previous games, but it just kept going on, and eventually we started getting the Boo characters and Ultimate Gohan in these demos, and we had creators be able to record 4 hours of gameplay footage. And now we're at a point where creators are able to record at least that amount and more. They had a lot of time, and that's with the final build. And to be honest, in theory, you would have thought that I would have had like a big meltdown, but instead, these days, I'm just like, you know what? Hold on. You're going to do all of that. The company is going to allow all of this. And that's kind of like how my mindset was. And I just kept getting so frustrating leading up to this release, like seeing all these demo gameplays, and it got to the point where I started acting in a way I normally don't. Started like flipping out on people just for simple things. And there are some situations where I flipped out on people where they baited, and I don't apologize for that. I'm not asking for sympathy, all right? I'm not going to apologize to any specific person, but I will also say that I was very angry leading up to this whole game, which I don't want that to happen. I want to enjoy the game. I want to be a fan. I want to actually play this game, but all those demos, they really I talked with other creators and they kind of said the same thing in terms of some people posting so much to the point where it basically spoils it for them. It oversaturates it, and they're kind of right. But honestly, I don't want to be constantly angry. I don't want to be constantly enraged and constantly pissed off, because the truth of the matter is, in theory, I could just cover every new gameplay footage of the final build and I could talk about it, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get increasingly angry. I'm going to be so bitter because I am intentionally spoiling myself, seeing things that I do not want to actually see. So I would just say that moving forward, I'm going to kind of take a break from doing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero videos. Unless it's really important, or unless it's good, really important news. I just don't really see the point anymore in terms of constantly uploading about the game, especially when people already had full access to the game. Right now, because it's we're 2 weeks before the release date, I can't do anything. There's nothing I could do. There's no person I can talk to where I can say, you know what, I want to play this game 2 weeks early or 3 weeks early. I can't do that. So what I want to do is I want to spend these next few weeks chilling out, kind of just chilling out my brain, chilling out in terms of the uploading. For these past few months, I've kind of been uploading at least 3 to 4 times a week. And I don't want to do that for something I'm just not interested in. I don't want to keep covering Dragon Ball Sparking Zero final build gameplay. I don't want to keep talking about it. I actually want the game to come itself. Once the game actually comes, then that's where I feel like I have a chance in terms of being able to do content. If I'm reacting or talking about someone else's footage, then it puts me at a much lower bracket in terms of creativity. And at that point, I'm basically doing the same thing that everyone else wants to do. And I also don't really want to do that. The thing with YouTube is you don't really want to do the same exact thing that everyone else does, because at that point, what are you really known for? What do you like? What, you're just going to be the news guy? You're just going to be the compilations guy? Eventually, that just gets tiring, and especially before release, yeah, I want to spend these days like just doing other types of videos for other games. Obviously, the views are probably going to be low for those, but I'm going to probably focus on evergreen content for that. Even this video, it might not get like, it might not even get 5K views, and that's okay. But I definitely have to I have to take a step back. I don't want to see any story mode footage. I actually want to experience the Super Saiyan Force myself, to the point where I have not watched Rhymestyle's video about Ultra Instinct Goku or Super Saiyan 4 Goku or Gogeta. I don't want to do that. I want to be surprised. I want to have that element. I don't want to see I don't want to see another creator's videos with compilations before release. I just want the game so I can actually do it. And honestly, like, to this, by YouTube standards, I'm pretty old. Like, maybe, yeah, I'm not the most successful, but I do okay here and there. You know, like how many people in an oversaturated field can say they have 300,000 subscribers and they still like get, you know, maybe 50 comments or 100 comments, depending on, like, I'm okay with 7,000 to 10,000 views, honestly. That's just how I look at it. I'm okay with that. And sometimes I kind of wish I had 50K or 100,000. I feel like as my base grows higher, there's a lot more expectation of what I should upload, and certain things that I want to upload get criticized, and I just don't like that. At times, I just miss the whole, I miss the old days. I miss like the Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 days where I could just upload anything and I didn't have to worry and I didn't have to care about uploading stuff ASAP. I even miss the Dragon Ball FighterZ days where I could just upload, do my own thing, focus on my own niche and get good views. And I didn't really have to worry much about everyone doing the same thing. But a game like Sparking Zero, everyone is basically just going to be doing the same exact thing. And now that the full game has been leaked, not leaked, but the full game itself has been covered. And to make matters worse, the people covering this, they don't have to unlock the characters, but regular people who buy the game do. That's actually a bit crazy. Like, I can't play with Ultra Instinct Goku at the start, but other creators can. That's just like, that type of reasoning and logic. Basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you, the person, to be so excited. And so that kind of like some silly way to add replayability to their own game by basically having you and forcing you to go through the story mode or going through the quests to unlock the characters that you see. Maybe that's why we have all those demo gameplay showcases and all of those full game character showcases, because they want you to see everything, and they want you to be excited to play it. But in order to do that, you know, they want you to see this big creator show it off, and they get the opportunity, they get the luxury to do that, which is fair to them. But you, the regular person, you have no chance of playing them at the start. And that type of thing, this type of culture of, it's just not something as I get older, I just don't like. And last thing probably one of the last things I want to talk about is the creators and content creators complaining. You see, it's not me that was only complaining. It was also a lot of creators that I've talked to publicly or in DMs. And a lot of them kind of feel the same way, in that a lot of the game has been so shown, and this was like the final nail in the coffin for a lot of people. In terms of despair, you have smaller creators complaining because they feel like they don't have a chance because the bigger creators uploaded a lot of things, and to be honest, it is true. People who are at the truth of the matter is, in the YouTube system, being a creator, I would not recommend it. I wouldn't recommend anyone be a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero creator. I wouldn't recommend anyone being a Dragon Ball creator because it is one of the most irritating, could be one of the most irritating things depending on how you look at it. If you're trying to chase the views and the money and you lose your passion for the excitement, then it could really turn you bitter. And you constantly looking at the competition and comparing yourself to them. And there are going to be times where someone gets a game early and you can't do anything about it. You could try to reach out to any type of establishment. You can try to do anything, but no matter what you do, it's just not going to work out. I feel like there are just limitations that we all have, and there's just not something that we can all get. Like, I'm probably never going to get 1 million subscribers, and that's okay. I feel I'm content with where I'm at. But a lot of the creators, smaller creators, are pretty much complaining because they never had a chance in the first place. You know, they didn't have an equal opportunity to upload stuff on the day of, or the day, on the day of or in early release. Everyone else, you know, you had the compilation videos, you had your super videos, you had your character gameplay showcases, and they don't have that opportunity. If the game released for everyone on the same day, at least they could say, okay, I had a chance and I did everything I could, but you know what? If I didn't make it, then it is what it is. But now it's like they have to work harder, and I kind of disagree on the idea that you have to work harder. I feel like you have to work smarter. You know, hard work alone does not mean jack squat if the YouTube algorithm or if people are not attracted to you. You know, some people aren't going to be the most entertaining people or informative people, and that's okay. You know, we all have lives. You know, not everyone could be the same. Not everyone could be an Afro Senju. Not everyone could be, what do you call it when someone is just so energetic or has a lot of, not everyone could be like it's like a Conor McGregor. It's like where they have that aura around them where they can just say stuff and everyone pays attention to them and everyone listens to them. Not everyone's going to be that way. Not even I am. I'm a very monotone, kind of boring guy, but for some reason, I'm still here. I feel like, yeah, this is definitely one of the most hardest. This is probably going to be the hardest games to even get big from if you're a smaller or even mid-sized content creator. You know, and believe me when I tell you that if you're a small creator and you have an idea, I'm telling you this, certain big or mid-sized creators will take your ideas and repackage them into their own videos. This is not exclusive to Dragon Ball. This happens with a lot of different niches. But yeah, overall, I'm not looking for any sympathy. I'm not looking for any woe is me. I just want to talk about what's on my mind. I don't really like the oversaturation. I feel like they definitely could have did this a different way. I don't think we needed to see the final build. I don't think we needed to see all those demo gameplay footage, especially direct footage. I feel like it would have been a lot better if we got beta or playable demo, even if it was temporary or it had a less drastic amount of characters. I think that this was probably one of the most stressful games I've had to cover, and honestly, I am sorry that my bitterness for everything that happened leading up to release showed. Like, even now, I probably sound bitter. That's not intentional, but I just want to play the game. I just want the game to come here. I'm pretty much done with constantly uploading news unless I think it's important or unless it's really big. Because otherwise, I just want to get the game. You know, if I fail, then I fail. But I want to try everything I possibly can. And at that point, if nothing works, then I give up. And I feel like a lot of people will eventually do that. Will people be successful? Will Dragon Ball Sparking Zero be the second coming when it comes to Dragon Ball games? Is this game going to last a lot longer? Is this going to last long for months or years? I don't have that answer, but I'm gonna do everything I possibly can to do what I enjoy, and I want to enjoy Dragon Ball games again. And maybe this was a blessing in disguise, because now that the full game has essentially been posted for a lot of people, I don't have to kill out myself or like mentally drain myself from doing these videos. I miss enjoying covering Dragon Ball games. I miss enjoying doing content. When the game comes out, I hope that enjoyment sparks back. Because honestly, I just don't enjoy reacting to footage. I don't enjoy talking about it, especially when it's not mine. Oh, and a quick little thing. Obviously, I mean that I am going to want to try my hardest when it comes to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I'll put a lot of my effort in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero videos and constantly post them when the game actually comes out. Because we've had the final build pretty much released by most content creators, constantly doing news videos is pointless because we don't really have much other than demo gameplay, which again, demo or final build gameplay, which again, I have no intention of covering constantly. At that point, I'm just going to experience it myself.